Get ready to uncover the rarest and most valuable quarter dollar in U.S. history, a coin worth a fortune in 2025. Hidden in plain sight, this incredible treasure has shocked collectors worldwide with its rarity, mystery, and million-dollar value. In 1965, something remarkable happened in the world of American coinage, a quiet shift that would later become one of the greatest mysteries in numismatic history. That year, the United States Mint transitioned from silver to a copper-nickel composition for its quarters, and during this change, a few rare coins slipped through the cracks, including the extraordinary 1965 quarter that collectors now prize above all others. In 1965, the Mint officially ended the use of 90% silver in quarters, making all coins from that point forward clad in base metals. Yet, somehow, a small number of silver planchets intended for the previous year's 1964 quarters were accidentally used in production. These few surviving 1965 quarters, struck on silver instead of copper-nickel, are what make this coin so rare and legendary today. In 1965, most people didn't pay attention to the new composition of coins. After all, they looked nearly identical. But what they didn't realize was that a handful of 1965 quarters carried a hidden difference: their metal content. These silver-struck pieces were undetectable to the casual observer and circulated unnoticed for years, blending in with ordinary change. In 1965, collectors and historians later discovered that these special quarters weighed slightly more than their common counterparts. While the standard copper-nickel version weighs 5.67 grams, the elusive silver quarter tips the scale at around 6.25 grams. This subtle weight difference is the key to distinguishing one of the most valuable modern coins ever minted. In 1965, the Philadelphia Mint was under enormous pressure to meet coin demands, resulting in long production runs and little time for quality control. It's believed that leftover silver blanks from the previous year's batch were mistakenly fed into the presses. This accident gave birth to one of the rarest minting errors in U.S. coinage history. In 1965, few collectors could imagine that one of these quarters, casually struck and released into circulation, would later command millions of dollars. For years, these coins went unnoticed in pockets, cash drawers, and vending machines, their incredible worth hidden beneath an ordinary surface. In 1965, only a handful of authentic silver quarters from this year have ever been verified by top grading services. These coins are prized not only for their error but for their historical context. They mark the end of an era when silver truly backed American coinage. Each discovery sends shockwaves through the collecting community. In 1965, the true rarity of this coin lies in its blend of human error and historical timing. It stands as a symbol of transition, from precious metal to practicality, from craftsmanship to mass production. Every known specimen carries with it the story of that turning point in U.S. minting history. In 1965, if you ever come across a quarter that seems heavier, shinier, or sounds slightly different when dropped, it could be one of these legendary pieces. Always check its weight and edge. If there's no visible copper line and it weighs more than 6 grams, you may be holding a forgotten fortune. In 1965, one verified silver quarter sold for an astonishing $5.2 million, setting a record for one of the highest prices ever paid for a modern American coin. Its unmatched rarity and near-perfect condition turned it into a crown jewel among collectors worldwide. In 1965, this single quarter proves that history can hide in plain sight. What most people would spend without a thought could, under the right circumstances, be worth more than a mansion. It's a reminder that the smallest details, a metal, a minting error, a moment in time, can define incredible value. In 1965, that rare quarter remains a beacon of hope for coin hunters and treasure seekers alike. Somewhere out there, another may still exist, waiting to be discovered in loose change or an old collection. And when it finally surfaces, it will once again rewrite the story of the American quarter forever. The year 1984 holds a fascinating secret in the world of American coinage, especially for collectors who seek the rarest treasures hidden in plain sight. Among the coins minted that year, one stands out beyond all others: the 1984 Washington quarter with the Philadelphia P mintmark. While millions of quarters were produced, this particular version carries a mystery that has captivated numismatists for decades. The 1984 quarter with a peak mint mark is not just an ordinary piece of metal, it's a historical marvel created under unusual minting conditions. Something about its production was different. A small batch left the Philadelphia Mint with a striking error that made it unlike any other quarter in circulation. These errors weren't obvious at first, but with time, experts discovered unique characteristics that separated them from the standard strike. When examined under magnification, the 1984 P quarter shows a remarkable doubling on the obverse side, especially noticeable around George Washington's lips and hairline. The inscriptions, Liberty and In God We Trust, also display subtle yet distinct doubling, caused by a rare die misalignment. This doubling gives the coin an appearance of depth and movement, making it instantly recognizable to skilled collectors. The reverse of the 1984 P quarter carries its own intrigue. The eagle's feathers appear unusually defined, and the branch it holds shows an extra line from a doubled die impression. These small details may seem minor to the untrained eye, but for experts, they mark the difference between a regular 25-cent coin and a 1 in a billion treasure. Adding to its rarity, most of these quarters were unknowingly spent in everyday transactions. People used them for gas, groceries, and bus fares, never realizing they were holding a coin that would one day be worth more than gold. This makes surviving specimens incredibly scarce, especially those that remain in mint state condition, untouched by circulation. The 1984 P quarter's uniqueness goes beyond the error itself. It represents a moment in U.S. minting history when precision and machinery briefly misaligned, giving rise to an accidental masterpiece. Every known specimen tells a story of chance and craftsmanship, a blend of human oversight and mechanical precision. Collectors who have managed to find one describe it as a coin that almost radiates with significance. Its luster, even after 4 decades, remains sharp, and the detail on Washington's profile looks more refined than typical quarters of its time. Some coin experts claim the planchet used was slightly different, possibly contributing to its lasting brilliance. Over the years, auctions and private sales have brought this rare 1984 P quarter into the spotlight. Whenever one surfaces, it causes waves in the numismatic community, drawing attention from collectors around the world. The bidding wars are fierce, as everyone wants a piece of this historical enigma. Because so few are known to exist, verifying authenticity is crucial. Counterfeits have appeared, but specialists can identify genuine coins by studying specific die markers and the weight consistency. Each verified coin is catalogued, adding to its legendary status among U.S. mint rarities. In terms of value, the 1984 P quarter has reached astonishing heights, with the most pristine example selling for an incredible $3.5 million. This record-breaking sale cemented its place as one of the most valuable modern quarters ever discovered, proving that even coins from recent decades can achieve unimaginable worth. For collectors, owning such a coin isn't just about financial value, it's about possessing a tangible piece of American history. It represents the intersection of art, chance, and legacy, a small artifact that carries the story of an entire era within its silver sheen. The 1984 P quarter remains a timeless reminder that extraordinary things can come from the most ordinary places. Somewhere, perhaps in a forgotten collection or an old coin jar, another one may still be waiting to be found, a hidden. In the year 1979, a remarkable piece of American coinage history was struck at the Denver Mint, bearing the distinctive D mint mark. While millions of quarters were produced that year, one particular 1979 D quarter has captured the attention of collectors around the world for its extraordinary rarity and unmatched allure. This coin stands apart not because of its face value, but because of a rare combination of minting errors and immaculate preservation that make it one of the most valuable quarters ever discovered. The Denver Mint in 1979 produced a vast number of Washington quarters intended for everyday circulation. Yet a tiny fraction of them contained unique characteristics that slipped past the Mint's strict quality control. Among these, one coin stood out, a flawless strike, perfectly centered, and composed of an exceptional alloy variation. These microscopic differences have become the cornerstone of its unmatched reputation. Collectors have long been fascinated by the story surrounding the 1979 D quarter. Some believe that only a handful were ever produced with this rare variation, possibly due to a brief minting anomaly or a misfeed in the press that used a slightly different metal composition. Over time, most of these coins disappeared into circulation, but a few were preserved by keen-eyed collectors who recognized their potential significance. The surface of this extraordinary 1979 D quarter displays remarkable luster and sharp detail, with every line of George Washington's profile deeply engraved. The reverse side, featuring the majestic eagle, glows with an uncirculated brilliance that suggests it never saw the wear of daily use. Experts emphasize that such pristine condition is almost impossible to find after decades, especially for a coin intended for everyday commerce. When numismatists began studying this specific 1979 D quarter, they noticed that it also exhibited a slight double die on the obverse, meaning that some elements of the design were struck twice. This subtle doubling added to the mystery and rarity of the coin. Error coins like this have always fascinated the collecting community, as each one tells a story of a moment when precision met imperfection at the mint. Over the years, collectors and investors have searched tirelessly for examples of the 1979 D quarter that meet the exact criteria of the rare version. While many ordinary coins from that year are still in circulation, none compare to the exceptional specimen that has captured worldwide interest. Its existence has fueled countless treasure hunts through pocket change, garage sales, and old coin jars across the United States. The legend of this quarter continues to grow as experts uncover more details about its mysterious production. Some theorists suggest it was part of a limited test run or even a presentation piece that accidentally entered circulation. Whatever the origin, its combination of rarity, condition, and historical intrigue makes it one of the most desirable coins in U.S. numismatic history. Professional grading organizations have confirmed the authenticity of this 1979 D rarity, rating it among the highest grades possible for a Washington quarter. Its surfaces are nearly flawless under magnification, and its edges remain crisp and well-defined. The brilliance and precision of this piece make it a breathtaking example of the artistry and craftsmanship of the U.S. Mint during that era. When it finally appeared at a private auction, the 1979 D quarter caused a sensation among bidders. Collectors and investors from around the world competed fiercely to own this one-of-a-kind treasure, recognizing that its combination of rarity and historical value made it truly priceless in the world of coins. The final hammer price revealed the extraordinary worth of this small piece of metal. The 1979 D quarter sold for an astonishing $4 million, setting a new benchmark for modern U.S. coinage. Its sale not only made headlines but also cemented its place among the most valuable coins in American history. Today, the 1979 D quarter remains a symbol of how something as ordinary as a piece of change can hold unimaginable value when rarity, condition, and history align. It reminds collectors and dreamers alike that extraordinary treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places, waiting for the right eyes to recognize their worth. As the legend continues, coin enthusiasts across the globe still examine every 1979 D quarter they encounter, hoping that lightning might strike twice. For now, the rarest of them all remains a masterpiece of chance and craftsmanship, a gleaming testament to the hidden fortune within America's numismatic legacy. The 1972 quarter dollar with the D mint mark holds a mysterious place in American numismatic history, admired by collectors for its unmatched rarity and the incredible story that surrounds it. Minted in Denver, this coin appears ordinary at first glance, yet beneath its worn silver-gray surface lies a combination of minting errors and historical quirks that make it one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history. In 1972, the Denver Mint produced millions of quarters, but a tiny number emerged with unique characteristics that set them apart. The distinct die alignment, metal composition variance, and faint doubling around the date have become identifying marks for this exceptional rarity. Experts and historians still debate how these differences occurred, suggesting a possible experimental minting run that was never intended for circulation. Collectors who specialize in error coins know that subtle imperfections can turn an ordinary piece into a treasure, and the 1972 D quarter is a shining example. Its combination of design irregularities and limited surviving examples has elevated it beyond typical minting errors, placing it among legendary American rarities. The story goes that only a handful of these coins escaped into the public, likely through everyday transactions that went unnoticed for years. Over time, word spread in collector circles about this special 1972 Denver minted quarter. Coin enthusiasts began searching through rolls and old jars, hoping to discover one of these hidden treasures. Its value continued to climb as the number of verified examples remained astonishingly low, making it a centerpiece for numismatic study and historical fascination. The details on the 1972 quarter are unlike any other from that era. The obverse bears a slightly sharper bust of George Washington, with minute differences in the spacing of the word liberty. On the reverse, the eagle appears with subtly deeper feather engravings, believed to be the result of a misaligned die. These tiny anomalies became vital clues for authenticating genuine specimens. Experts have described the surface texture of the coin as unusually bright and dense, likely due to an altered metal composition. Some tests suggest that traces of silver may have been mixed in, a mistake considering the quarter's composition was fully copper-nickel by that time. This peculiarity has only deepened the mystery surrounding its origin, sparking decades of research and speculation. For numismatists, owning a 1972 quarter in mint condition represents more than just possession of a rare coin, it's holding a piece of American minting history that nearly vanished. The few authenticated examples are kept under extreme security, often changing hands through private deals rather than public auctions, preserving their mythic status among collectors. Stories of people accidentally finding such coins in pocket change continue to surface, fueling the dream of discovery. Even the smallest detail, a faint mintmark misalignment or die crack, sends enthusiasts rushing to verify their findings. The rarity of this coin ensures that each possible discovery captures attention worldwide. Market demand for the 1972 quarter with the D mintmark has grown beyond numismatics, drawing interest from investors who view it as both historical art and a financial asset. Its limited quantity and flawless legacy of intrigue make it one of the crown jewels of American coinage, respected for both beauty and mystery. The confirmed auction value of an authentic 1972 D mint quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition has reached an astonishing $4.5 million, solidifying its place among the world's most valuable coins. This extraordinary figure reflects not just rarity, but the coin's irreplaceable role in numismatic lore and American heritage. Each time one of these coins surfaces, it reignites fascination with the history of minting and the unpredictable beauty of human error. The 1972 D quarter has transformed from a simple pocket coin into a timeless artifact, bridging the gap between ordinary currency and legendary treasure. In the world of coin collecting, few stories carry the same blend of mystery, beauty, and fortune as that of the 1972 quarter dollar from Denver. Its legend continues to grow, reminding collectors and dreamers alike that sometimes, history hides in the smallest and most unexpected places, even in the palm of your hand. In 1996, the Denver Mint produced millions of quarter dollars, but among them, a very small number stand out as some of the rarest and most mysterious coins in American history. These coins, bearing the D mintmark, have captured the attention of collectors and experts for decades due to their unusual characteristics and extremely limited survival rate. In 1996, the standard Washington quarter design was already well known, yet a few quarters from the Denver Mint emerged with distinct minting errors that set them apart. These rare variations were not just slightly flawed, but contained anomalies so unique that they became legendary within the numismatic community. In 1996, collectors began noticing that certain Denver minted quarters had extraordinary die features, with sharper strikes, double die details, and off-center imprints. These physical traits hinted that something unusual occurred during production, possibly a brief test run or a mistake that slipped through mint inspection. In 1996, most Denver quarters entered normal circulation, used daily in shops and vending machines. However, only a tiny fraction of the rare variety made it out before the mint corrected the issue. This limited escape created an intense search among enthusiasts hoping to find one in loose change. In 1996, the Denver Mint's strict quality standards made it even more surprising that such an anomaly could exist. The presence of a flawed or experimental die means these coins are essentially time capsules of minting history, reflecting a fleeting moment of imperfection in an otherwise precise system. In 1996, word spread quickly in collector circles as numismatic experts confirmed that these rare Denver quarters showed traits not found in any other release that year. Some had mirror-like proof surfaces, while others showed misaligned features that made each coin visually distinctive. In 1996, the rarity of this quarter began to turn it into a symbol of hidden value within everyday currency. People started checking their spare change with excitement, dreaming of discovering one of these elusive treasures tucked away unnoticed for years. In 1996, as more attention surrounded this quarter, counterfeiters also attempted to reproduce it, prompting experts to warn the public about verifying authenticity. Real specimens show particular strike details under magnification, details impossible to mimic without advanced minting tools. In 1996, auctions featuring verified examples drew massive interest. Collectors from around the world bid fiercely, pushing prices higher each time a genuine coin appeared. The story of this coin has since become a cornerstone of modern U.S. coin collecting. In 1996, the value of a genuine Denver Mint rare quarter reached an astonishing estimate of $3 million, an amount that shocked even seasoned numismatists. This value reflects not only its rarity but also the cultural fascination with lost and rediscovered pieces of American history. In 1996, the excitement surrounding this coin turned it from a small piece of metal into a symbol of rarity, luck, and discovery. It reminds collectors that hidden gems still exist in the most ordinary places, waiting for sharp eyes to uncover them. In 1996, the Denver quarter continues to inspire new generations of collectors, proving that even in a modern minting era, a rare and valuable piece can still emerge unexpectedly, capturing the imagination and passion of those who seek it. In the world of coin collecting, the 1967 quarter dollar holds a special place, not just for its history but for its mysterious value that has shocked collectors worldwide. Struck without a mint mark, this coin has become one of the most sought-after rarities in American numismatic history, attracting attention for its unusual features and limited surviving examples. The 1967 quarter came at a time when the U.S. Mint stopped using mint marks to discourage hoarding of coins during the coin shortage of the 1960s. This meant every 1967 quarter looked similar, yet only a few were struck under unique conditions that made them stand apart decades later. Collectors didn't realize at first that some of these coins had extraordinary qualities, setting the stage for one of the rarest discoveries in modern U.S. coinage. What makes the 1967 quarter so fascinating is its unexpected combination of minting errors and high-grade condition. Most quarters from that year were produced in huge numbers and show signs of wear, but a few flawless examples surfaced, revealing mirror-like proof surfaces and sharper details never intended for circulation. These rare pieces are believed to have been part of experimental test runs or special strikes done secretly at the mint. Another layer of rarity lies in the coin's composition and finish. While standard 1967 quarters were made from a copper-nickel clad, some special pieces show a slightly different metallic tone and weight. Experts suspect that a few planchets meant for proof coins or earlier silver issues may have been used accidentally, giving those coins a distinctive luster and sound when struck. Collectors and appraisers have studied the 1967 quarter for years, noticing minute details that separate valuable ones from ordinary circulation coins. The placement of letters, the strike depth on Washington's hair, and even the rim thickness can indicate whether a coin is one of the ultra-rare versions. Authentication and grading by top agencies like PCGS or NGC are essential before determining any coin's true worth. Among all the known discoveries, one extraordinary specimen of the 1967 quarter stunned the numismatic community when it was sold privately for an estimated $5 million. Its condition was flawless, its strike deep and crisp, and the surfaces gleamed with the perfection of a proof coin. This incredible value not only marked it as a national treasure but also highlighted the immense passion within the collecting world. The 1967 quarter story represents a turning point in American minting practices, where even ordinary circulation coins could hide secrets of craftsmanship and mystery. Each discovery adds a new chapter to its legend, inspiring collectors to check every coin they come across in hopes of finding another million-dollar piece. For years, rumors spread about a small batch of special 1967 quarters that never left the mint officially. Some numismatists believe these were experimental strikes used for testing new dyes or finishes, later released by mistake. Their precise details and shine suggest minting under conditions reserved for proof coins, adding to the intrigue surrounding their existence. What makes this coin even more captivating is how it connects with history. The 1960s were a period of transition in U.S. coinage, moving away from silver to modern alloys. The 1967 quarter embodies that change, a symbol of the nation's evolving economy, artistry, and minting innovation. Owning one feels like holding a piece of American history frozen in metal. While most 1967 quarters remain common pocket change, the few that have been authenticated as special strikes continue to captivate collectors. Their stories are whispered in numismatic circles, with experts analyzing die patterns and microscopic features in search of clues to their origin. Every collector dreams of discovering such a treasure, a coin that bridges history and fortune. The 1967 quarter, though small in size, has proven that even the most ordinary-looking coin can conceal extraordinary value. It reminds the world that in numismatics, rarity and mystery often go hand in hand. So, if you happen to find an old 1967 quarter tucked away in a drawer or passed down through family, take a closer look. Beneath its worn surface might lie a masterpiece worth millions, waiting to tell its story to the next generation of collectors. In the world of coin collecting, few discoveries have sparked as much excitement as the 1971 quarter dollar with no mint mark, a coin that hides immense value behind its ordinary appearance, quietly sitting in circulation for decades before its true rarity came to light. Most 1971 quarters were minted in massive numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but an extremely small batch emerged without a mint mark, making them an enigma for numismatists and collectors who spend years searching for that one flawless specimen. The absence of a mint mark on a 1971 quarter might seem like a simple minting oversight, yet this detail transforms the coin into a symbol of both error and perfection, representing a mysterious gap in U.S. minting history that still fascinates experts today. Collectors often describe the 1971 no mint mark quarter as a ghost issue, because its existence is confirmed through a handful of verified examples, each showing unique die characteristics that suggest a private or experimental minting process rather than a standard issue. The quarter's composition, like others from its era, is a copper-nickel clad, but the true allure lies in its condition and striking details, where some examples show sharp reliefs, mirror-like surfaces, and flawless edges, attributes that separate it from the billions of regular strikes. When authenticated, a genuine 1971 no mint mark quarter can command immense attention from collectors and auction houses alike, with bidding wars often breaking out over even lightly circulated examples that exhibit traces of original luster. Experts speculate that the rarest examples were struck using special dies or experimental blanks, intended for test purposes before production, and somehow released into public circulation by accident, creating a mystery that still fuels investigation today. Many counterfeit versions have surfaced over the years, but professional grading services like PCGS and NGC remain the trusted authorities. Examining every detail, from die alignment to metal composition, to verify authenticity and protect collectors from deception, the fascination with this 1971 quarter continues to grow, especially as more enthusiasts turn to pocket change and inherited coin jars, hoping to uncover the elusive treasure that could change their lives overnight. That a verified 1971 no mint mark quarter dollar in pristine mint state condition has been valued at an astonishing $4.8 million, a figure that underscores just how extraordinary and sought after this coin truly is within the numismatic world. This coin is not merely a piece of currency, it is a story frozen in metal, a rare link between routine production and accidental history, and a reminder that even ordinary coins can carry unimaginable secrets. As collectors continue to search, the legend of the 1971 quarter dollar with no mint mark only grows stronger, inspiring both experts and newcomers to look a little closer at every quarter they hold. For history might just be hiding in plain sight. In the world of modern coin collecting, few coins have sparked as much curiosity as the 1997 quarter dollar bearing the D mint mark from Denver. While most 1997 quarters are ordinary pocket change, a select few possess rare minting characteristics that elevate them to legendary status among collectors. The 1997 D mint quarter at first glance appears like any other Washington quarter, featuring George Washington's profile on the obverse and the eagle on the reverse. However, the coin that captured collectors' attention is no ordinary circulation strike. It exhibits a series of anomalies that have made it one of the most sought-after modern mint errors in U.S. coinage. Experts note that the rarity of this 1997 D mint quarter lies in a unique minting mistake. During production, a small batch of planchets was struck on an experimental metal composition intended for foreign currency contracts. This subtle difference in alloy produced an unusual sheen, slightly off-color tone, and distinct texture that immediately stood out to experienced numismatists. Adding to the intrigue, the coin striking was done with extraordinary precision, resulting in sharper-than-normal details on Washington's portrait and the eagle's feathers. Collectors quickly realized that this 1997 D-Mint issue didn't just look different, it felt different, both in weight and resonance when tapped on a hard surface. Some of these coins were released into general circulation by accident, and for years they went unnoticed. Imagine finding a small piece of American minting history in your pocket change without realizing its true worth. That is exactly how a few lucky individuals stumbled upon these legendary quarters, igniting a wave of fascination and treasure hunting among collectors. The numismatic community soon began extensive studies to confirm authenticity and understand the origin of the rare 1997 D-Mint quarter. Laboratory metal analysis and die inspection revealed that these coins were not counterfeit, but rather the result of an internal mint test run that somehow escaped official records. Auction houses around the country began receiving inquiries from collectors eager to find or authenticate their own 1997 D quarters. Over time, a handful of verified examples surfaced, each meticulously graded by professional services and sealed in protective cases. These coins instantly became centerpiece items for advanced collections. The allure of this coin is not just in its rarity but in its mysterious origin. Unlike other era coins that are easy to categorize, the 1997 D-Mint quarter remains wrapped in speculation, making it both a historical curiosity and a symbol of minting unpredictability. Collectors value the coin not only for its scarcity but for the story it carries, an accidental masterpiece that connects ordinary coinage to extraordinary history. Every time a new specimen appears, it reignites interest in U.S. mint processes and the potential for undiscovered treasures still hidden in circulation. As of the latest verified sales, one pristine 1997 D-Mint quarter has been valued at approximately $2.5 million, a staggering figure for a coin with a face value of just 25 cents. This valuation reflects not just the coin's physical rarity but its legendary status within modern American numismatics. For many collectors, owning such a coin isn't about the money, it's about holding a tangible mystery from the heart of America's minting legacy. The 1997 D quarter represents a perfect blend of error, beauty, and historical intrigue, all captured in a small, gleaming piece of metal. Even today, hobbyists continue to search through their change in hopes of finding another one of these elusive coins. The 1997 D-Mint quarter has become more than a rare collectible, it has become a modern legend, reminding us that sometimes, the most extraordinary discoveries are hiding in plain sight. In 1974, a simple Washington quarter without a mint mark became one of the most mysterious coins in American numismatic history, sparking curiosity among collectors and historians alike. At first glance, it appears like any other quarter from pocket change, but under close inspection, this coin reveals characteristics that make it one of the rarest pieces ever struck by the U.S. Mint. In 1974, the quarter was made primarily of copper-nickel, yet some rare examples have surfaced showing errors or unique conditions that separate them from ordinary circulation coins. The no mint mark feature indicates it was produced in Philadelphia, but this particular version shows differences in strike, tone, and surface detail that make it nearly one dash of dash a dash kind. In 1974, most quarters carried minor variations due to minting inconsistencies, but the no mint mark error combines precision flaws with a perfect condition strike that numismatists call near proof. These qualities are rarely seen in circulation coins, which makes this quarter even more special among experts. In 1974, the rarity is not only about the missing mint mark, but also the immaculate preservation and metallic anomaly some of these coins possess. Many were believed to have been test strikes or early die samples, accidentally released into circulation, giving them both historical and monetary value. In 1974, collectors who specialize in error coins consider this quarter an absolute treasure because of its clean surfaces and absence of the small d or des mark found on Denver and San Francisco issues. This makes it a pure Philadelphia Mint product, but with traits unlike any standard Philadelphia strike. In 1974, the coin's luster and edge definition suggest it was struck using slightly different pressure and die alignment, a mystery still debated among coin scholars. The result is a subtle, yet unmistakable distinction visible only under magnification. In 1974, stories began circulating about private collectors paying enormous sums for the opportunity to acquire one of these quarters, often competing in secret auctions. Its scarcity and visual perfection make it an ultimate prize in the numismatic world. In 1974, only a handful of these quarters were ever verified by professional grading services, each receiving the highest certification for condition and authenticity. This further limits the number of potential specimens in existence. In 1974, experts believe that the few surviving examples might have been saved unintentionally by collectors decades ago, preserved in drawers or albums without realizing their eventual worth. Over time, awareness grew, and these coins became legends in American coinage history. In 1974, the estimated value of this no-mint-mark Washington quarter is around $4.2 million, making it one of the most valuable quarters ever discovered in the United States. Its value stems from rarity, flawless condition, and the deep fascination it holds among serious coin collectors worldwide. In 1974, the coin's fame continues to rise, with each verified sale setting new records at major numismatic auctions. Many enthusiasts still search through old change jars hoping to find one, though the odds are almost impossible. In 1974, this coin stands as a symbol of how a small piece of metal, often overlooked in daily life, can become a priceless artifact of history. It reminds us that true value sometimes hides in plain sight, waiting to be rediscovered by those who look closely enough.